the weekend, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey fell 56% in its second weekend, substantially more than any of the previous Lord of the Rings films dropped in their second weekends. This is a fascinating development, as while previously there had been much discussion over whether or not the source material can sustain a Hobbit trilogy, nobody ever thought to question whether or not the box office could sustain one. After all, the original Lord of the Rings trilogy was so successful, pulling in almost $3 billion worldwide, it seemed a given that demand not only still existed but was potent. But that no longer seems to be the case, as The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey is not only losing ground, but losing ground with no real competition. See, while the Fellowship of the Ring faced off against Ocean's 11, The Two Towers against Gangs of New York, 2 Weeks' Notice and Catch Me If You Can, and Return of the King against Something's Gotta Give, The Hobbit dropped 56% going up against underperformers Jack Reacher and This Is 40. And as the more formidable competition Les Mis and Django Unchained entered the fray on Christmas Day, they easily bumped The Hobbit down to third place. And while The Hobbit reclaimed the #1 spot on Thursday, it's still neck and neck between the three. Even worse, both of those flicks have serious awards buzz, while also for the first time ever, the Lord of the Rings franchise is not a serious awards contender, when it used to dominate. Why? Why is this happening? One could argue that it's hard to resurrect a franchise after 10 years, but what about Star Wars? The Phantom Menace only dropped 20% in its second weekend, but Attack of the Clones did drop 40% and Revenge of the Sith 50%, as the general opinion of the prequels waned, leaving only the diehard fans in the Cineplex. Is it too a matter of quality with these Lord of the Rings prequels? The Hobbit has settled at just 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, and fans on sites like Fandango say it's just a go rather than a must-go. And beyond quality, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey might be a victim of its own technological prowess. The film can be seen 4 ways: regular, 3D, 3D high frame rate, and IMAX 3D for 4 different prices. Plus, the higher frame rate has turned into a major gamble, with audiences having to worry that they'll shell out the extra cash only to discover they don't like it, and then have to live with that mistake for 3 hours. Is it any wonder some are just deciding simply not to roll the dice? So what about a year from now when The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug hits theaters? It will have to compete with Thor: The Dark World, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, Disney's Frozen, Anchorman: The Legend Continues, Walking with Dinosaurs, and the new Jack Ryan flick. Will a giant dragon voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch be enough? What do you think? Have you not yet seen The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey? If so, what's keeping you from going? And if you have seen it, are you locked in for the long haul, or are you bailing? Warner Brothers can't bail, as the whole trilogy is already in the can. So what could they even do to fix it anyway? Share your thoughts down below. I'm Grace Randolph, and this has been a Movie Bite. You can watch more right now.